Happy Monday, everybody. I hope your week has started off great and it gets even better. With that being said, I want to talk to you about beliefs. And here is what I want to say is when we are rigid in our own beliefs, then we are being closed-minded and not opening ourselves up to new knowledge, new understanding, and new perspectives. And life is about learning, and it is always changing. Universal law. Everything changes. So if you're so rigid in your own belief, then things won't change. See, because here's the thing. We get taught through life, and when things are going really well for us and they're going good, that is teaching us that what we're doing is working. But when it's not going so well, that teaches us that what we're doing is not working. So that shows us that we need to change what we are doing. Because if we don't change, we're going to end up getting the same result. And why would you not want to change if you're not happy with the result that you're getting? So you have to incorporate flexibility, which allows for more openness and understanding and gaining new knowledge, gaining new insight. Because if not, then you're limiting yourself. And who wants to be limited? I don't like being limited. Do you like being limited? If I were to answer, I would say no, but that's for you to answer for yourself. Now, I want to give just an example from a world perspective, and it is this. In this country, we have a red, we have a blue. It's a this or a that. But from my perspective, it's not a this or that. It's a portion of this and a portion of that. There is a middle line, but because we have people who believe that it can only be this way or it can only be that way, we have a resistance that keeps us from flowing in a better direction and coming up into a middle ground that would create harmony and happiness for both sides. And I think the truth lies within the middle. That's just me, because from what I see, this one's not right, that one's not right. But there's parts of this and parts of that where if you brought them together and cut out the parts that aren't right, there would be more right than part of this and part of that. It would be a better place for everyone. Now, that's just my opinion and my example. And one more example that I want to bring up is people with different religious or spiritual backgrounds, because there are those that think theirs is the only one. There's these that think that theirs is the only one. But here's the thing about that is there is truth in all of them. And I say this because I know many people from many different backgrounds, and I can understand and see where each one of them is coming from, because I'm open to listening and understanding their viewpoints. And so I'm not closed off, because when we get rigid, we close ourselves off when we could be learning some very important things and actually creating connections versus cutting them off and alienating them, because nobody wants to be alienated. At least I don't think so. But again, that's not for me to decide, is it? But I just would like to urge you to really reflect next time you're talking with someone who may not see things the way that you see them. Just try and stand back and really listen and observe, because you might just find that there is some commonality there. And you know what that will do? It'll draw you closer instead of keeping a wall of division. And I think that that's pretty fantastic. But that's just me. Now, I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to read a couple of scriptures. And the first one is Colossians 3:2. Set your mind on the things that are above, not that are on the earth. See, when we take on a higher perspective, then we're able to see things in a better, more loving, open, and accepting way, which pulls people together. The next one is Ephesians 4:2-3. Be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowances for each other's faults. Because of your love, try always to be led along together by the Holy Spirit, and so be at peace with one another. See, when we're humble, we're gentle, open, and kind, it creates a togetherness and peace. And I think that that is actually beautiful. What do you think? I'm going to leave that right there. But I want you to know, if no one has told you today,